Hey guys, it's Lord Sendo here. Today's video is going to be on whether Deepwoken is overhyped or not. So this has been a big topic of debate in the Deepwoken community. So Agamatsu just did a video on this, and he did like a 2-hour debate on whether this was the case or not. And his conclusion was that some people were overhyping it, but in general, a lot of people will enjoy the game, and it will be one of the best games on Roblox. His reasoning was that the fighting felt really good compared to Rogue Lineage, and this is what made the game very enjoyable. I'm not going to use this video to talk about content, because I do that in literally every single other Deepwoken video that I do. Let me just start off by saying that I don't think that Deepwoken is overhyped. Disregarding content, there's something else that a lot of people just aren't talking about when it comes to Deepwoken, and that is the community aspect of a new roguelike game. When Rogue Lineage first released in the first few months of 2019, it was easily one of the best games that I've ever played on Roblox. This was not because the combat was particularly enjoyable, and it wasn't really because of the content either. It was because of the atmosphere surrounding the game. You see, I'd say in the first 6 months of Rogue Lineage's release is what I would like to call the great exploration stage. After early access, the game averaged around a few hundred players. There was no Rogue Lineage info Discord or Trello or anything like that. This meant that information was incredibly valuable. Imagine if you had to play Rogue with your friends and no one had any knowledge of the game. You weren't allowed to use YouTube guides. You weren't allowed to use the Trello or info Discord servers. And people were hesitant to tell you things about the game because they wanted to keep powers for themselves. This was the state of Rogue Lineage pretty much the first half of 2019. There were people like Infinasu who were leaking trainer locations and telling you how to get base and superclasses, but the developers gatekept this information, and whenever someone would post a video like that, they would just move the trainers. This may sound like a nightmare and a very boring time if you didn't experience it. However, this phase was probably the most fun that I had in Rogue Lineage. You see, there was something magical about exploring secrets and finding new places with your friends. There was always a new piece of information that we were looking for, or a new trainer that we wanted to find. I was one of the first people in the game actually to get Ultra Spy. This was back when Spy had a dagger instead of a rapier, and the only skill that you could get was the teleporting skill. I think it was called the Wraith. I pretty much found that just by chance when an Azael teleported me to the Tundra. However, there was something just amazing about knowing that you were one of the first people in the game to unlock a new secret. It was also incredibly rewarding as well. With that information, I was able to help out a lot of friends, and I used that information to make connections with other people who would then later on give me information about the game. Just finding out stuff about the game was only one of the things that made Rogue Lineage more interesting than it is now. There was also a sense of immense competition within guilds. My friend group made our own guild and we were all vying for power. However, it became clear very quickly that we weren't at the top of the food chain. It was houses like the early Malkavians who were effective at gathering information about the game faster than anyone else. And as a result, they all got their progression a lot faster. And with that, they were able to do a lot more stuff like ganking and make the name for themselves in Rogue Lineage lore and community. You're probably guessing how this ties into Deepwoken already, but let me just explain it. All the stuff that I just described were things that were only available in the first part of Deepwoken's exploration phase. After all the info was available, none of that stuff really existed. The reason why I believe Deepwoken will be a lot better than Rogue Lineage right now for a lot of people will be because we will be in that exploration phase for a long time. New Rogue Lineage players who joined in 2020 and 2021, who never experienced that phase, will finally be able to witness that firsthand with Deepwoken. They will be able to make a name for themselves and explore things about the game just like we did in Rogue Lineage back in 2019. They no longer have to play one step behind everyone else. I believe the reason that Deepwoken has so much hype behind it is because Rogue Lineage players are finally realizing this. I posted a community poll asking whether Deepwoken will be more enjoyable than Rogue Lineage, and 95% of people said yes. This is a tremendous amount of hype, but I do believe that these people are correct. I read a comment on my latest video which explains this opinion very well. He says, the thought of Rogue being able to have secrets and myths among the community as a decently late player to the game makes Rogue sound much more interactive than I ever got to experience, which is why mostly I would want to get into Deepwoken on first release. I feel like this is the driving factor as to why people are so excited and therefore impatient about Deepwoken's release. It's less to do about the actual game and PvE and PvP than people are saying. It's more to do about the community and the experience that comes along with that. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.